and welcome to a brand new episode of Candle Breakers. My, that was very loud. In which we once again revisit the dark region of Mournveil. How are you doing, Sam?
No, I'm good. Just waking up.
A gothic homebrew setting full of ghouls, ghosts, witches, werewolves, and of course, vampires. But before we delve into this dark region, let us go around and meet all of our players. You will have noticed that one of our number is not with us today. Unfortunately, Glosske can't be with us owing to internet difficulties, but we're going to try and struggle on without her. But in the meantime, Arianna, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes. Hi, my name is Arianna. For those who don't know or who forgot me, because I haven't streamed in like 3.5 weeks, but I'm coming back. So hopefully you guys get to know me again, because I'm so different now. Even my hair is different. I'm a completely different person. So yeah. And today I'll be Ayleen. She's a monk and she's a good girl. I want you all to finally consider this, because dear Lord, has she been hated by you guys a little bit. But she's a good one. She's just, a little bit brainwashed and kind of wants to do the same to other people, but she thinks it's good. So yeah, that's Ayleen.
And Elina.
I'm playing as Ester, the wood elf from the area where we are right now, Heartland Forest. She got thrown out of her tribe and have been circling around now, it seems like, meeting Hazel and Ayleen and Cider and the whole gang. And now we're back in this tower and she's very nervous about what's going on because she doesn't want to meet her fellow tribe members at all.
Okay. And finally, Sam.
I'm Sam, and I play a chaotic 10-year-old little boy, a half-elf fighter, who actually loves Ayleen right now because she played a game with him. That's all he needs.
And lost.
He's easy. But yeah, I just remembered the ending of the last session, so I'm like, all right, here we go. And Ed.
And I am Ed. I am the GM. I play all of the other characters. I fill in the blanks of the world and generally try and bring it to life around these incredible players. And you can also help with that, because you will have noticed that in the middle of the screen there is a donation bar. This is our Faith of the Gods bar, and whenever you donate towards it, as Angelo has so ably demonstrated, you slowly bring it up ever so slightly until eventually it reaches its limit. And when it reaches its limit, who's to say what happens? The players don't know. I will have to think of something. And generally it has an irrevocable change on the narrative, on the characters, and the world surrounding them. So if you want to see that in practice today, by all means, they are in a scary abandoned tower. Nothing bad can possibly happen. But before we jump in, a quick word. There is a content warning for this episode. There will be one scene of surgical imagery. We will try and get some text on screen when this is happening. But just so you're forewarned before we delve into the episode. But I believe that is everything. So sit back, grab your maps and your torches as we delve deeper into the Tower of Magnus Vortuna in Chapter 14, Revelations Run Amok. Traveling south towards the Grimsar mountain range, you continue to interrogate Farah about her past until eventually, delving deeper into the woods surrounding the mountain's base, you saw, off in the distance, flickering orange light. Upon sending Hazel closer, you discovered that it was a campfire, surrounded by 3 individuals, and engaging them in conversation, you discovered that they were witch hunters. Having retreated from the Briar Woods after their defeat at the hands of the mages of the Purple Keep, as well as yourselves, though they did not recognize you. And though they almost discovered who you were, on account of a very, very excitable Cider, the 2 groups parted ways, with the witch hunters gifting Hazel one of their pendants, saying that if she should ever need anything, the witch hunters would protect her. And continuing on up the mountain, you stopped to rest for the night, and Mank was questioned about his relationship with Victor, the man the group had been hired to save, revealing that the two men had once been more than friends, only for Mank to have found affection in the arms of another. The two have not seen one another since, something that Mank deeply regrets. And morning came, and ascending the mountain's peak, you were met with the sight of Magnus Vortuna's tower, a crumbling, broken structure shrouded in mist, and entering, you were met with silence. An eerie interior full of dust, broken stone, and cobwebs. And Farah revealed that she was not originally from this place, but from a city called Baldur's Gate in the world that was, the same place that Hazel has claimed to be from, with her city of Neverwinter. And stolen by mist, she found herself transported to Mournveil, and directly outside this very tower. And upon entering, she had found a room of doors, and stepping through one of these, she had in turn been transported somewhere else in Mournveil. The tower lost forever, and she has been searching for it ever since. Ascending the tower's stairs and seeing the evidence of your last encounters there, you came to that very same room, a circular space of 30 doors, a map of Mournveil on the floor, and an illusionary moon hanging in its center. And sending the others on ahead to investigate the top of the tower, Ayleen, you stayed behind to trace the map of Mournveil, along with the signs across its surface, shining a bright light, with the exception of the one positioned on the Grimm's Arm Mountains, which was a small, bright pillar of light. But as you sat there, tracing out the landscape, unseen by anyone, one of the doors behind you began to creep open, and a pale hand began to wrap itself around the edge of the frame. Now, Ester and Cider, as you walk up the stairs with Farah and Mank, is there anything in particular that you are wanting to do as you ascend towards what you are informed will be the top of the tower? So as you continue to move up, you feel a strong breeze howling against the staircase's center until eventually you see a light from above. And as you reach the top, the breeze intensifies and you feel grey sunlight upon your face. Underneath the cracked, crumbling, domed roof, you step up through the floor into a large, circular stone room. The walls are crumbled and broken, with vines and trees growing out of the cracks and surfaces, and through these gaps you see the horizon of Mournveil stretching out before you. And taking up the center of the room, lying on its back, you see a large spider-like creature with a human torso, the legs of which have shriveled up and bent inwards as it lies cold and dead. Hazel walks up towards it and pokes it, and Mank just, "Seen this before?" "I've killed it before." And then she walks over to it and continues to poke it, and Mank and Farah just exchange a look. And all around the room you see bookshelves, all of which have been smashed and broken, and books lie scattered and worn with age, their pages curling and torn. And on opposite sides of the room, you see two corpses that are decades old. One is dressed in a simple purple jerkin, and the other lies sprawled across the remains of a desk, a long, dried beard sticking out from rotten skin, and he wears a long, red robe. Is there anything that you want to do as you look around the room?
Is that the same red robe figure from the photo downstairs?
Make an investigation check for me.
Okay. 17.
looking at it and moving closer towards the body, and you can see that one of its arms has sort of like broken off to one side. And again, Hazel just looks over and goes, "Yeah, he had a book, but we took it." And you look from her to the robe, and you see that there is patterning on it. Patterning that is sort of serpentine in nature, weaving down the hem of the robe. It looks remarkably similar to that displayed in the stained glass window in the entrance hall.
That's a beautiful robe.
Is this the same guy from downstairs? The big picture?
Yeah, yeah,
Excited
yeah,
coming through?
yeah. I think it could be.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, I think Ayleen has some of the pages from his book, and she's just walking around, and Farah just looks around. So I take it if you have been up here that you have already taken everything worth taking. And Hazel just nods and, yeah, there was a knife that let us talk to people, and there was a metal box that this thing had, and she just pokes the spider creature. But we took those. She just looks around, and Farah just, okay.
So it's
What?
That's a bummer.
Everything's
Well,
been taken.
I suppose we can always have a look just in case anything has been left.
Okay.
Yeah. How did the dude die? The robe man.
Oh, they stabbed each other.
What? Oh.
Yeah, the knife told us.
Then I've told you to tell them to stab each other?
No, so there was Claire, and she was with us before you were with us. And she had the knife, and it showed her some things, and yeah,
Oh. Okay.
kind of boring.
That does
Yeah.
sound kind of boring.
Yeah, I'm not interested anymore.
Yeah, be more fun to kill them yourself, right?
Yeah.
Sorry. A talking knife doesn't sound interesting to you, lot. Sorry.
They're dead
No,
now.
it sounds
Fine.
better.
I'll,
A talking rat.
Okay, but should we look around?
I'm gonna go look.
Yeah. We should. We can steal his robe. He's not getting any use out of it, right?
It's really yucky. It's like dusty.
What if you wash it? We
In what?
Water later. Can I take it? I want the robe.
Farah just looks across and take whatever you want. As far as I'm concerned, we're here looking for answers.
It's a good-looking robe. Very red. Very cool.
It might even keep you warm at night, Cider.
Do you like warmth? It's been really cold here.
Maybe, and she looks down at your bare feet. Maybe take his shoes as well.
Well, yeah, I can't get grip with shoes.
I cannot argue with that. And with that, she starts looking through the books and sort of picking them up, and many of them crumbling apart in her hands as she just picks them up here and there. Downstairs, Ayleen, what are you doing? Are you still tracing out the...
Yeah, well, do I hear the door opening?
You do not, no.
Oh, shit. Well, in that case, yes. I'm still just writing down what I see.
So looking at the map and writing out bits and pieces, you take in the areas on the map where there are small dots of light. And you look at the one on the Grimsar mountain peak that stands taller than the rest, shining brighter than the others, matching the same glow of the illusionary moon that hangs in the center of the room. And you make a note of these locations, tracing them out on the map that you are currently working on. And then out of the corner of your eye, you see a shadow. And a creature is going to attack you at advantage because it's a sneak attack. So that's a 20 not natural. As you take... where is the right dice? There we go. As you take 12 points of slashing damage, as across your back, just you feel these talons slash through your skin, and you scatter forward. And as you turn around, you see a creature standing over you, thin, emaciated, with large, bulbous white eyes and prominent rodent-like fangs, and its scalp is hairless, and its murky white skin is covered in dirty brown rags, from which underneath you see long, stretching, and now dripping with red fingers. You have read of these before, but it is far more feral and far more animalistic than those you have seen. A vampire stands before you and just... Can you roll for initiative for me, please?
8.
Uh-oh.
Okay. So, the rest of you hear this sound, this screeching sound, echoing up the spiral staircase, and Farah immediately turns around. What are you all doing?
Oh,
Who's that?
Ayleen. She's alone.
That's Ayleen? Is that like
It
It
Just
wasn't.
that-
We have to go.
Well, you know, sometimes I don't want to walk toward the screaming because that sounds scary.
Cider, be strong now. Let's go.
He,
What
like,
happened
gets close
before
next
you
to
were?
Farah. Yeah, well, I'm not used
you
to
were
handling other things.
You handled those other guys so well in the forest.
Well, they made me
You
mad.
were prepared. Yeah. Okay. I don't know. I'm gonna go. I'm going.
As this is happening, there's just a... You see Jerry hop out of Hazel's hair and run towards a rather sizable hole in the floor and disappear down. And Hazel just looks across, Jerry! And rushes over and jumps down after. And Mank just, right, you lot, you go see what's up with Ayleen. I'll go after Hazel. Go! And she just jumps down after her. And Farah just, for God's sake, does this happen often?
Yes. All the time.
Yeah.
Actually, all the time. So we need to hurry. Let's go.
Right.
Okay, you go
How Ayleen
first.
is-
And she just starts to take out.
Yeah, Esther starts running too.
Okay, so running down, as you do so, Ayleen, you got higher initiative than the vampire in front of you, so let me bring up
Go, Ayleen.
the map.
I just want to say that I still have damage from when Hazel punched me in the stomach, so
Ooh.
I didn't start with full health.
Oh no.
Yeah, that's always fun.
Here we go. Okay, so, and let's put on some more appropriate music. So, what would you like to do as your first turn?
Well, I'm going to try and stun it.
Okay,
So,
sure thing. Roll
I'm
to
going to
attack.
do an unarmed strike. A 9.
A 9. That doesn't hit, unfortunately.
Well, it's okay. I'm just gonna do it again as a bonus action. 24!
24 hits. Roll for damage.
All right. Also, I'm gonna spend a key. That was 7 damage, and I'm gonna spend a key. When you hit with a melee weapon attack, you can spend 1 key point to make the target stunned until the end of your next turn.
Okay.
If it fails, a
nice.
con saving throw, DC 13.
Okay. So, do you want to roll for damage first, and then I will...
I've rolled 7 damage.
Oh, 7 damage. Okay, lovely. So... Lovely. Okay, so let me see how it does on its Constitution saving throw. That is 19, unfortunately. Sorry.
Right.
I forgive you.
So your strike hits, and you see it just like stagger back a little bit, and you see its joints stiffen ever so slightly as it just suddenly relaxes a bit and just starts to move towards you. Is there anything else that you would like to do?
I can't.
Okay, that's fine. So it is now the creature's turn. So it's going to try and attack you with one of its claws. Oh my! Remember how I said I've been rolling badly recently? So that's a 26.
Oh my lord!
And that's 9 points of slashing damage. It's going to try and attack you again with 23.
Ayleen's gonna die before we get there.
And that's 6 points of slashing damage. And it is now going to try and bite you.
Why does
my
it have
God.
3 attacks at?
So that's 19. And that will be...
What?
I'm really sorry. And you take
Another Ayleen death incoming.
9 points of sorry, no, hang on, let me calculate that properly. So you take 6 points piercing damage, and you take 9 points of necrotic damage.
What? God.
I've got
you
2
down?
health. 2 health.
Ah, can we
And-
come now?
Also, until your next long rest, your maximum amount of hit points has been reduced by 9 points as well. As you see the creature in front of you, as it slashes as it slashes at you with its claws, and then grabs you and brings you in, and just grabs at your arm, and you see its rodent-like fangs just... It just brings its head back as blood drips down its mouth, and you see its wounds begin to heal. It is back to full strength.
What? Not.
The rest... Can the rest of you roll initiative for me, please, as you rush into the room?
Oh no.
Why do I always have problems finding?
I need a healer.
initiative? Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, where's initiative?
Okay.
There. There. Okay,
Imagine if we're wiped out, all of us.
15.
Hazel comes back next week. It's like, oh.
And then it was a solo journey.
Sad.
Okay, so the order is it is Mank, Ester, Ayleen, Cider, and then it is the vampire. The vampire rolled quite low on initiative.
You Mank.
So,
You mean Farah?
Mank.
Farah.
Oh, sorry.
It's
Sorry,
Farah,
it is
right?
Farah.
Yeah.
It is Farah, yes. Just pretend that this token is Farah.
Man, Farah, what
So,
happened to you?
Farah. She just lost her hair and
Yeah.
shot. So she's going to, seeing what's going on, as you all rush downstairs and you see Ayleen in very, very bad shape as a vampire just stalks towards her, just... Farah is going to shout out, "Everyone shield your eyes!" And you see her just reach into her waistcoat and pull out what looks to be a small glass vial that she just throws in the creature's direction. And
But isn't that an
It's Ayleen.
it is. Ayleen, can you make a dexterity saving throw for me, please?
Please stop blind her as well. What the
13.
You pass, the vampire fails as you see this glass vial smash on the floor and explode out in what looks to be light. Bright, blinding light, the kind of which that Ester and Cider, you have never seen, but you have read about sunlight before. And it shines out golden and bright, and you see the vampire just and it takes 20 points of radiant damage.
Thank God. Farah. Oof. My one.
Yep, so that's all she is going to do for now. So, Ester, it is your turn. What would you like to do?
Esther sees Ayleen lying down. She gets really scared because she looks bad. So she runs straight up. And she feels something. She feels like she's channeling something, and she is gonna use her spell thingy-majiggy for bark skin, it's called. So she reaches down and touches Ayleen, which is like, I hope this works, because it makes her skin very bark-like, and she can't. It's like she's made of bark now, or she can't. I think she can't die. I think so.
So it means that your armor class is 6 now,
or something.
Ayleen.
Yeah.
So
Wait, my armor class is what? 16.
16.
Oh, I thought you said 6. I was like, that's not good.
No.
That's not
We went
good.
backwards.
No. Yeah.
You are as brittle as a twig.
Yeah.
But Esther rushes forward and skidding across the broken and the broken and cracked stone floor. You just bring your hand onto Eileen's bare arm. And as you do so, Ayleen, you watch as over your skin, it is like wood stretches out from Esther's hand, creeping over you, almost as though bark is moving up your skin. And as you watch Cider, this very, very strange sight, you see that on the ground, Ayleen becomes almost a living statue of wood, creaking all around her as mottled bark just moves across her skin until she is barely recognizable. Esther, is there anything else that you would like to do on your turn?
I'm not sure. Do I have another attack, or is there?
No. You
No.
only get your second.
Then I
attack
can't
if you
do
take
a
the
lot.
first one. So unless you
Yeah.
want to, okay. So in that case, Ayleen, it is your turn. Looking at the strange bark-like texture that is across your skin, what would you like to do?
Could you quickly respond to DM that I sent you?
Oh, yes, of course. Yes.
Yes. Ayleen
Yes.
is closing her eyes, and she's going to spend all her power into becoming one with her body as she regains 21 HP because of wholeness of body. Apparently I didn't know.
Hey.
So I heal myself 21.
Yeah.
So reaching a barken hand and placing it upon your heart, you just close your eyes and breathing in, opening them again, there is that same sensation. And Esther, you see what you saw in the Barrow Woods all those days back, as white golden light just streams smoking from Eileen's eyes, and you see a glow just emanate from within the wrinkles of the bark over her skin. As Ayleen, you find yourself rejuvenated. Is there anything else that you would like to do at all?
I'm going to spend a key point to do flurry of blows to
Okay.
make 2 unarmed strikes as a bonus action.
Okay, go
So
for
I'm
it.
gonna attack 2. One is with a 21,
That hits.
7 points, and then the second one. Hold on, it's not letting me do it. A sec, there we go. 15?
That just misses, unfortunately. But the first one lands true as you just bring your barken fist up, cracking the side of the creature's skull. It just... Is there anything else that you would like to do on your turn?
No.
Okay, in which case, Cider, across the room, you see this strange cornucopia of color and light and bark. What would you like to do?
Cider's like standing there just like, oh my god! She's like not sure what's happening. He's like, oh, Ayleen's a tree now. However, I want to use dash so that I can make it all the way to right here and hopefully use my shocking grasp because I have to touch him.
Okay, go for it. Roll to...
Fingers crossed.
Let's go.
At advantage because it's technically flanked as well.
11. Hang on. 14. Dang it.
They just miss as you rush forward, and the creature, just turning to see you, just moves out of the way with a surprising swiftness as your sparking hands just fly past once, twice, and you just look back at this huge creature that just stands above you and just... And it is now the creature's turn, so...
Wait. Can I do an extra attack?
Yes, you can. Yes,
Can I
sorry.
try
I
it?
forgot you were a fighter. Yeah.
Let's go.
Hey, come on!
Try again. Maybe. We'll see. No! Please!
If you roll a 14, I swear.
Do you want me to do advantage again?
Yeah. Add advantage, yeah. 'Cause it's
Oh,
flanked.
okay.
Yep.
What if it's a 14 again?
Let's go.
17!
Yeah. Let's
Okay,
go.
That hits exactly. So roll your damage.
Cool. So that's 11.
11. Okay, so. Okay, so. As you reach forward and just grab the creature, and it just. And you see sparks just emanate from underneath its eyes. It brings its hand back and grabs its wrist, and just you see its long creeping fingers spasming a bit before it just calms itself. And as it does so, you see the wounds over its body slowly begin to heal as it regains 10 hit points.
What the fuck?
I'm gonna be a vampire.
Can we all switch?
It is a character option.
But-
in
yeah,
one of the new
because-
books.
Wait, is it not possible to ask him to turn me? It doesn't work like
I mean,
Very reasonable. So,
Sir.
so
That's it.
you've heard it quite a bit, Cider. So it's gonna try and attack you, I think. So that'll be a 20 to hit. It's not natural.
What are these rolls?
And that will be 13 points of slashing damage, and a 24 to hit with 12 points of slashing damage, and it's going to try and bite you.
no.
What is this?
So that is a maths. That's a 21 to hit, and that will be 6 points of piercing damage and 12 points of necrotic damage.
Did you die?
Cool.
And
Cool.
and
No,
your
it's okay.
maximum HP is reduced by 12 hit points as well.
All right.
That is. I'm sorry. I don't like this part of being a GM.
It's good that Cider, you got the attention because I would have died here. So
I
thank
got
you.
So that is all
he's
it is
tough.
going to. That is all it is going to do.
That's it. Nothing else.
So it is Farah's turn. So Farah is going to strafe round the side of here, and she is going to bring up her repeater crossbow, and she is going to make 3 attacks towards it. So those both hit. as does that. So that will be 7. Let me just do maths for a moment. Sorry, I'm sure this is thrilling. 22 points of piercing damage. So that's as she just looses 3 crossbow rounds that just past your head, Cider, as you just turn around and you see the bolts just round in this strange contraption underneath the crossbow, and she just looks over at you, and from underneath her wide-brimmed hat, she just winks at you, and then starts to bring it up again. Ester, it is Ester, it is your go. What would you like to do?
Ester's moving, kind of here, I think.
You don't want to be a vampire with us?
Okay. Well, I still was thinking maybe she could distract him.
We're just having a party over here.
Yeah. Doing her arrows. Shooting once. Let's see here. Where's... Dude, I forgot completely where it is. There. No. Sorry. Back. 3, 2, and 1.
No, Nat!
Pog!
Yeah,
20.
not 26.
Roll for damage.
There.
Oh, girl.
I guess
Oh,
that's
wow.
14. And is there one more time, right? Or I have to, or is that fine?
Yep. Sorry, I'm just writing stuff down.
21.
That also hits. So
Yeah, and
roll
a
for
9.
damage.
Yeah, let's go.
One of us has to live to tell Hazel.
It's looking quite rough. As Ester, you rush over to the other side, and just as you do so, just bringing the arrows, and they fly through the air as you just see them both connect with the creature's back as it faces Cider, and it bends almost doubled backwards, just trying to grab at the arrows. Just
Stupid
are
vampire.
you doing anything else on your turn?
No, I just tell him that is stupid because I hate vampires.
So Ayleen, it is your turn. What would you like to do?
I'm going to grab the stick from my back, and I'm going to bam, bam, bam with 3 attacks, using 1 key to do my 2 last attacks. So the first one is a 25, hitting.
Hits. Roll for damage.
Hitting with 9. The second one.
How would you like to dispatch of the vampire?
Let's go.
I'm gonna keep my key. Well, may I bend the rules a little bit to make it extra epic? Okay, because I just wanna just punch it with my stick, just like left, right, left, right, left, right, until it like falls down on the floor and just kind of stops moving, and then I just keep attacking still.
You just watch as this creature of the night slowly just crumbles into the floor as Ayleen just pummels into it.
Not stopping.
Better cheering you on.
Get him!
As this continues on, Farah just walks over and... You don't do things by half, do you?
What? You think it's dead?
Yeah, he's dead. He looks kind of smooshed.
Can someone cut off his head? Just to be sure.
Ooh, yeah, sure. I would like to try.
Step away from the body.
I really don't like vampires, especially this kind. Ugh. Okay, I'm gonna try to cut this head off.
Why is it so different with this one? Why is this one so different?
This is one of those IQ-free ones. The ones I hunt. Yeah.
What's the difference?
These are like weird, and something went wrong with these ones. They're kind of more primal. How do you say this? More animal-like. I don't know what's wrong.
Can I look for weapons on it?
I'll say, looking at it, you can see that it is literally just skin and bones and rags. There is nothing at all on it.
Esther's gonna try to cut his head off.
I mean, especially with the pummeling that Ayleen gave to it, like, there's not much of a head left, but you are able to cut it off. And as this is happening in front of you, Cider, as you're looking around, you see a small glimpse through the door that it supposedly came through. Unlike the other doors in the room, it is ever so slightly ajar, and you can see that just beyond it, it is very dark, but scattered across the floor, you can make out what looks to be shattered glass.
I'm gonna turn to Ayleen since she's right next to me. Look over there. He's like trying to talk through his injuries. Ow.
And I would like approach the door and open it.
Okay, so as this is happening, Esther, what are you doing?
Esther is following Ayleen closely.
Okay. So, walking through the door, glass crunches underneath your feet, and Cider, you just suddenly feel an arm underneath your armpits as Farah just lifts you up from behind to stop your bare feet from touching the ground itself. And you are met with a large, but nevertheless cramped stone room. Dust floats through the air in front of you. And there are no windows. The only light comes from the room of doors and the moon in its center. But all around the room, you see large glass tubes housed in giant brass contraptions. And as the door opens and light passes through them, you see that inside each of these tubes, there are bodies floating in strange, clear liquid, each of them remarkably similar to that you fought outside. Their bulbous eyes staring out as they just sit suspended and still. And you see that one of these containers is smashed with glass and liquid all across the floor. But in the center of the room, on a large wooden table, you see another one of these figures. The skin on their ribcage is peeled and pinned back to the wooden surface, revealing their insides, and the desk is littered with long, rusted surgical instruments. And you see that all around this and all around the room on various shelves, there are piles of notes and paperwork, all of which are covered in dust and cobwebs. And Farah places you down on an area of the floor, Cider, that is less covered in glass, as you all take in this strange, strange sight.
There's so many of them.
Ew! What is this?
Yeah, what are they?
These. Oh! Oh my god! Ugh.
Is there
More to the point, what was whoever this tower belonged to doing with so many vampires?
I mean, these vampires deserve this, but ugh, have to do it so disgusting.
Do you think they're breeding them?
Ew, what? Really?
It does not look like it, not from this one on the table here.
Dissecting them? Or studying
why?
them?
Do you think the weapons are made here?
I don't know.
The vampire weapons? Like the sanguine blade? And this is more directed towards Esther than anyone else.
I can't say. This is so confusing to me.
Well, perhaps it would be good to investigate further. There are a lot of doors, and by the look of it, a lot of paperwork.
Should we not burn this down? In case the one escapes again?
Perhaps when we are leaving,
Oh, right. Yeah,
might be a good idea. When we're in the tower, not so much.
obviously.
Ayleen, were you able to figure out your map?
The map. Right. Well, and I would walk back to the room and just like grab my notes. So as you can see, at the Grim Mountain peak, that star is just as bright as the star above this table. I don't know what that means, but do you think that could be the next place this tower teleports to?
Well, that is where we are now, by the looks of it.
Oh, I knew that, obviously.
Smart.
Right. Okay, then no, I've got nothing.
But what, do you think these are locations?
Probably points where the tower spawns, maybe. Right? If I could throw myself out there.
Yeah, but why? There must
Maybe
be
it
more
has-
to it, not just the locations of where this tower is teleporting to. There must be more, because why else would they keep track of it like this?
Maybe someone set them to be like this. The person who set this tower up.
I would randomly start walking to another door and just try to open it.
Okay. So.
Oh shit.
No. Which. Any one in particular, or are you just like a random one?
The one left of the door that we just opened. That just opened.
Okay. So, moving towards the door, you just steel yourself a moment, and you can see that Farah coming out of the room with the vampires has sort of brought out a couple of stacks of paperwork and is just sifting through them. And as she does so, and as Ayleen makes her way over to one of the doors, Cider, you feel a brief squeeze on your shoulder, and Farah just goes, "You okay?"
Yeah, I'm totally fine. He's not fine.
Make a deception check for me.
Oh, 7. Whatever.
Farah just sort of, well, if you need to talk about how fine you are, I'm sure the others will oblige. As will I.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I just don't like it here.
You and me both. And as she says this, there is a... As Ayleen, you open the door and cold rushes through as snow and ice batter their way out of the door. And steadying yourself, you see white mountains stretching out before you. The wind howls and the clouds obscure all the view below as you see a rocky cliff edge stretching forth in front of you. As you see through wind and snow the horizon of Mournveil. But it is not the mountains outside. It is much higher and much, much louder.
Wait, louder?
Just very windy.
Oh.
Yeah.
Where is this?
Ester Peaks.
This is not Grimm's is it?
This is the door to somewhere else. Yeah, this
Esther,
is
did you say you were having a peek?
Yeah, she peeks a little bit.
Okay.
to the
Make a nature check for me.
side. Nature. It's 15.
So I would say, considering where you are from.
Hmm.
You have been up in the mountains a number of times in your training when you were still with your tribe. And while certainly never as high as this, you recognize some of what little plant life exists around this area that you are looking at. It is the Howling Peak Ridge to the south, almost as far south as you can get.
This is Howling Peaks Ridge.
How is that possible?
I don't know. Is it mapped out? Look at the map. Is it mapped out?
I don't know, Ed. Is it?
Make a perception check.
16.
16. You look and you see that as you move towards the south of the map on the floor, etched out in brass, you see that one of the small pinpricks of light stands within the Howling Peaks.
So it is on a map.
Yeah.
But then what about that room? Is that also a different location? The one with all the vampires in those tubes?
It could be. Esther goes in to investigate the other room.
Farah, what did you find?
Vampire room or just another door?
The vampire room.
Oh, okay.
See if she can find out anything else.
Okay, make an investigation check for me, Esther.
That's a good investigation. Yeah.
How did you roll a 0?
Literally zero. Literally zero.
Esther is
Ayleen,
blind.
Ayleen, can you come? Yeah, Ayleen, can you come help me?
Got an eyelash in her eye.
Yeah, walking in, you just almost immediately connect with the table, and there's just a as you just hear echo from inside the room. And Farah just looks over and I found a couple of things. Not much, but it seems like whoever was investigating this, they made a couple of notes. And she just looks through. These are a weaker form of vampire, altogether more feral and unpredictable. This individual says most likely the result of a diluted bloodline after hundreds of years.
Oh.
But a bloodline that they believe begins with, and I use their words, those who live outside the mist wall. But your friend is right, there might be more inside.
I can't see anything.
All right, let me look.
I just see stupid vampires.
I rolled a 4. Cider!
You look around and
Cider's gonna get up and like push past you and be like, hang on, let me try to look.
It looks stupid, right?
Wait,
Let's
nature?
go.
No, you have to do investigation.
No, it's fine. Take it.
Cider.
Fine. Man, I hate it here.
So walking forward and sort of before Farah can stop you, you walk in and there's a sight, as you just feel a little bit of glass against one of your toes and sort of dancing around, you move to one side and you see a stack of papers and you look in and sort of you bring out a couple of bits of pieces, a lot of which doesn't make a lot of sense to you, but you are able to get your hands on a few. And as you hold them up to the light, you see that there are a couple of notes on here. They speak of these vampires in particular, and many of these creatures behaving in a way almost as though a hive mind. Where you find one, you will almost certainly find a nest nearby. And when deprived of blood and sustenance, these creatures will revert to a more animalistic state, and even speech will become difficult to them. But more than this, it is hard to make out, especially as Farah just, Cider, come over here. We don't want you in the place with all the glass.
He tries to step around it all.
Okay. You said try, so
Try.
could you make a dexterity check for me, please?
Because even in real life.
Is this what we... Okay, We just gotta
13.
say... Do.
You're okay as you just almost sort of hopscotch-esque out of the room and into the main body of the room of doors. As Farah just stands there looking at you all and towards the snow softly drifting in through the next door. But what are you all doing?
Should we check more rooms? Or
Let's check them all.
yeah, honestly. Check if they have something to do with the map.
Okay.
So well, if we find something out.
Let's try the next one then. And Ayleen would walk towards the one to the right of the vampires and open that one.
So, I will say for expediency's sake, if you are checking every single door.
Okay. Yeah.
You see a number of very, very strange sights. You see forests. You see water. You see grass. You see cities. You see the ruins of a settlement, the streets of which are empty and quiet, but its buildings tower above you, and a strange green mist hovers around their bases, with twisting, blackening trees stretching around stone and mortar. And before you leave it open, you see through the mist movement. Ghostly figures moving through the air that don't seem to take any note of you, but they move through the ruins of this town. In another, you see a wall of water hanging in the door frame, dark and rippling, and as you reach out to touch it, it is like touching the surface of the pallid lake. It is dark beyond the water. And as you look up, it is wet. Yes, it is very wet.
Cider go up to it and like use it to start wiping off blood from him.
Of course, and it is a very strange sensation as it sits vertical in front of you. You scoop it almost as though scooping water from a puddle, and you just bring it towards you, and it appears to do nothing to the wall of water. But Cider, as you are splashing yourself with water and like squeezing bits of blood out, you look up and you can see almost what looks to be sunlight streaming down, and you see that it is the surface of a lake, and you are looking out into the depths of it as you see at one point a fish just move past you. And there are many, many other doors, including a town street with tall Gothic buildings standing all around you and flags flying in the wind, displaying a red griffin against a purple field perched atop a grey mountain. The streets are busy, and as you look on, no one seems to pay you any mind. But Ayleen, you recognize this flag as the flag of Mournveil. In another, darkness stretches out before you, with dripping wet sounds coming from within, echoing around what must surely be a cavernous space. In another, you see thick, impenetrable woods with the mist. Yeah.
Ayleen definitely wants to investigate that place a little bit more.
The cavernous space?
Yes.
Okay. Make a perception check for me.
Because I have an idea. Sorry, perception?
Mm-hmm.
21.
Okay. So, holding yourself against the frame and just easing yourself in, you are met with a stale smell. And the sound of drips echoing. And as you strain your ears ever so slightly, it is mostly quiet. But at one point you just hear a and the sound of skittering legs moving above you.
Is there a corpse anywhere?
You see nothing.
Okay. Anything red?
Yeah.
You see nothing red, no.
Okay. Okay, then
As you strain your eyes, you do see something glinting in the light, however. Long, stringing cobwebs, just stretching from floor to ceiling.
Even Esther with the elven night seeing can't see anything.
I would say that you, looking in, Esther, you see a stretching cave system moving off in a large tunnel. And you can see that there is fungus growing from the walls, and you can see above one of these tunnels, moving across the ceiling, a very, very large spider just moving upside down. And it's its large eyes just moving in your direction before skittering off into the darkness.
Ooh! Spider.
Oh.
Yeah.
Quickly closes the door.
So, is this where they came from? The spiders, maybe?
Maybe, yeah. So I thought for a second that this might have been the tomb. Like...
No, this is a tunnel. Giant tunnel.
Oh, okay. Alright. Next door, then.
So you keep on looking, and you see a number of other doors quite similar to the one leading to Mournveil. As you open one of them, you see streets, very familiar streets. They're quiet, and you see people moving backwards and forwards, and in the distance, you see a large golden spire, and a stone's throw from this, on a large rocky mound, you see Everspire Manor in the distance.
Oh, look.
And
that's Ophelia's place.
Oh, is that on the map too?
Who's that?
It's our friend. She lives there, in that manor over there.
Yeah.
It's a big house.
Really big.
She's rich.
She's really rich.
Rich.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Okay, next door.
And you see a couple of others. You see mist hanging between trees, and off in the distance what looks to be a large ruined building. In another door, perhaps the most unsettling of them all, you see impenetrable mist and nothing else. Just grey smoke and fog hanging in the door. And as you make your way around, you see other doors. Doors that lead to Brecton, that lead to Witchall, that lead to Galagurst and Renoras. And another, which stretches out ahead of you. You see buildings that are wrapped in trees, and you see that in the distance, above these rooftops, that from their roofs fly flags that display a stag's head against a yellowing mustard backdrop. You see above these a large cliff's edge, of which pours a massive waterfall down, 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 towering above the town ahead of you. And Esther, looking out into it, while you have not seen this town before, you recognize the birds that fly above it, and you recognize the trees in the distance. You would recognize the Heartland Forest anywhere.
It's Hartstead, I think.
That's where you're from, right?
No. I've never been there.
Oh.
I'm from somewhere out in the forest. But this is the town in the forest, the big one.
Is it
And
a good
this is-
place?
I don't know. I've never heard or seen anyone from it, really. It's kind of a question mark.
Do you think this is real or just
I don't know.
a copy?
If this was real, then this would be crazy. This would be like door to everywhere. You could go everywhere.
Wait, where's Mank?
You went after Hazel.
Yeah.
She
Wait,
jumped down because Jerry ran off.
she jumped down the tower?
Some hole.
Yeah. Yeah.
What hole?
I
don't know.
You were screaming, so we ran.
Oh my goodness.
We had to come save you. Oh, Max said he would take care of it.
Oh my goodness.
Sorry.
And I would like leave the door and just immediately go upstairs.
I think they're fine.
So, have you opened all of the doors by this stage? Do you think?
Yeah.
Okay. In which case, before you go, a couple of other quick rooms, very quickly. In amongst all of the doors that lead off towards different landscapes and different vistas, there are some which are altogether less surprising. Much like the room in which you found the vampires. You can see a room of what looks to be full of shelves and paperwork. It looks like a giant library, and there is a desk off to one side. You also see a richly appointed bedroom with a 4-poster bed and red sheets, and it looks as though it has not been touched in decades, and dust hangs in the air. And in another, you see a room in which hangs a large iron-wrought cauldron surrounded by shelves upon shelves of potion bottles. And in another, you see a dark room with a soft green glow emanating from within. But these are also dotted around the room as well, as by now all but a few of the doors are open. A few of them you have shut just for safety's sake, but as you make your way towards the spiral staircase and make your way up, you move up the spiral stairs as Farah follows behind until you find yourself, Ayleen, in the familiar surroundings of Magnus Vortuna's office. And you see off in the corner, next to the large spider creature you fought the very first time you came here, a large broken hole in the floor that appears to lead down to some kind of lower level.
Hazel, Mank!
Okay, I'm taking his coat for real now. Lester goes up to Magnus and takes off his coat.
You sort of pull against the rigor mortis that is set in, and just sort of pulling, you just hear it as dust just falls off, as the arms just fall off their sockets, and the red cloak just comes loose.
Sorry, old fella. See ya.
And bouncing it up, Ayleen, calling down into the hole, there is just an echo. Out, 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 as your voice just travels down into the hole.
No, now what?
I swear,
I'm
that child.
Yeah, but I'm sure they're fine.
Your Mink's got her.
Yeah.
Or she's got Mink.
Or they're in danger.
Or that.
Did they jump down here?
Yeah. Yeah. That's where
This is so deep, they might be dead by now.
It's fine.
You want me to jump down?
I mean, okay, so I do want to... I want to go back to one of those rooms. I think there's
Me too.
a lot
I
of
want to look at the
information.
rooms.
I think there's still a lot of information that we need, but that damned Hazel!
I'm good at jumping.
I think we should split up.
Hazel runs away and then she always comes back.
No, she always gets taken back. Okay,
Have we ever... Yeah, but Mac is going to take her back, so...
were they both dead?
No, Mac will never die.
I will never
Farah-
Too
die.
much
Right.
money. It's got too much money.
Farah just reaches into her coat and brings out a couple of items and just places them in your hand, Cider. And you see that they are a bunch of glass vials, very similar to the one she threw earlier on. And she just says, right, all of you, take these. It makes no sense for another child to go after, so you three stay together. I will go in search of Mank and Hazel, seeing as I am somewhat better equipped than the rest of you. And she gestures to her waistcoat that is covered in silver daggers and various glass vials, and she just looks at all of you. If that sounds amenable to the rest of you.
Okay, but if you
You're
stay
so
away too
cool.
long, we're coming after you.
Of course.
What Ayleen said.
Thank
Well,
you.
She's so cool.
she just takes out some rope that is hanging by her thigh and just attaches it to a nearby tree, and just throwing the rest of it down into the hole, she just goes, and hopefully we'll be able to climb back up. But in the meantime, keep an eye out for answers.
Okay.
Just scream if there's anything, and I'll try to hear it.
I am good at screaming.
Yay!
I will see you on the other side.
Good luck.
Good luck.
She just wraps the rope around her arm and starts to slide on down into the hole until she disappears from view entirely.
Okay.
Let's go
What should we
down.
do?
Let's
Don't
go
worry.
back down, and I would just like use my hand to put it on Cider's back and like guide him towards the stairs back down again, and just look over my shoulder at Esther to see if she's following.
Yeah, it's fine.
He follows willingly.
Esther has
Lucky.
folded.
Doesn't punch her in the
Yeah.
stomach.
He is
Exactly.
too hurt right now. I do not have very much health right now.
Wait, are you super? Okay, suddenly
I'm, like,
Ayleen
really
feels that she's really weak. Cider,
Yeah.
are you okay?
Yeah.
Are you wounded?
No.
He-
He's like putting his hand over like
It-
bites and stuff. I'm fine.
You took a lot of hits from the vampire.
It's because I'm Cider and I'm tough.
Okay, just in
I
case,
feel-
stay behind me. Okay.
Okay. He's
Okay.
happy to do so.
So, as you descend down into the room of doors once more, is there anything in particular that you're wanting to go through?
I want to go through the papers in the study room.
Yeah, the library thingy.
Okay. So, stepping in, you're met with a vast rectangular room that stretches up around you into towering wooden shelves stuffed with leather-bound tomes and scrolls and dry paper, all of which appear to be covered in a thick film of dust. Ladders lead up to the top shelves, while in the far corner of the room stands a tall wooden desk covered in paper scrolls and many, many burned out candles. Piles of paper fill the room, some of which are almost as tall as you yourselves. What are you wanting to look for?
Anything that points to why this tower exists.
Okay.
Mm,
And the two of you, are you looking for anything as well?
Esther is looking for something regarding the maps. Something that has to do with maps as well.
Okay.
Cider doesn't really know what to look for, so just anything that seems like it would be important.
Okay. So, if you can both make investigation checks for me, and yourself
So bad.
as well,
investigation.
Eileen.
Let's go. 16, yes.
You know, Cider just wants to sit down in a corner right now.
Seven.
Like, take a breather.
Are you telling
And
that?
that
So- Eileen, Cider, as you walk forward towards one of the books, you just look at it. And as you do so, you're trying to make out what it says, but there is a lot of dust on the spine. And so you just... and dust just flies back into your eyes. And the rest of you just hear, as one of the piles of papers just topples over as Cider just bumps into it. And there is just a... as papers just fly across the floor, as you see Cider just like collapsing nearby and just waving at his eyes. And as they fall in front of you, Ayleen, you see a number of fairly familiar words in front of you. You see papers about the following: Mist Wall and magic users. And Esther, as you were looking for maps specifically,
Yeah,
yes?
anything regarding the maps that could have anything to do with the main map.
Okay. So you see a couple of annotated maps that spread out in front of you. And you also see amongst them a number of other papers corresponding with different locations. You see, in regards to the Grimm's Arm Mountains, and indeed the Wailing Ridge, something called the Carrion Mother, a name that you have heard before. And you also see, in regards to a set of mountains called the Sunrise Peaks, note about the Order of Dawn. And in addition to this, seeing the papers that Ayleen is picking up regarding the Mist Wall, you see some other notes that are hidden beneath. And you see that they are about a group of individuals called the Vampire Corps. Cider, you were just trying to get dust out of your eye.
Ugh, gosh.
This is odd.
Vampire corpse? As in dead
Yeah.
body?
Yeah, this seems...
Courts, as in presiding over, like ruling.
yeah, it's like a group. Some vampire group, I don't know.
So, what would you like to look at first?
I would like to look at Mistwall.
Okay. So, looking through these notes, and they are scrawls more than anything. The writing, very similar to the journal entries that you took with you last time you left. You take some time to decipher them, and especially with how old a lot of these papers are as well, you find yourself sitting down and poring over them. But you are able to decipher the following information, all of which is written in the same handwriting of Magnus Vortuna. The Mist Wall is a magical barrier. This much you know. But what Magnus believes is that it is being cast from outside Mournveil. Whoever is casting it is immensely powerful. So much so that the mages of the Purple Keep have been unable to decipher it. And he suspects that it is connected to the vampires, but for what purpose, he does not know. But more than this, for however dangerous the creatures within Mournveil are, from what little he understands of the Shadowfell, the plane of existence that Mournveil sits within, what exists outside the Mist Wall is far more dangerous. This is most of what you can decipher from his notes. Esther, what are you looking at next? And then we'll come back to Ayleen and hop between the two of you.
She's looking at the Carrion Mother.
Okay.
She's interested with the Carrion Mother.
So, looking through these notes, and you can see a variety of diagrams, and you can also see, very similar to the vampire in the other room, diagrams of cross-sections of harpies, half women, half bird, and you read about their queen, the Carrion Mother, an immensely powerful creature that purportedly lives on the tallest peak of the Grimm's Arm mountain ridges. She is believed to be an immensely old harpy that once, a very long time ago, feasted on a coven of hags and drained them of their powers. Her harpies are in conflict with the werewolves of the surrounding region and their pack alpha, with both tribes looking to eradicate the other, and it is a war that has raged on for hundreds of years. But through his research, he believes that the Carrion Mother has a son, a great winged bat-like creature that is called by the locals of Mournveil Leatherwing. And it resides in the Wailing Ridge. And he believes that this creature is guarding something on behalf of its mother, but he has been unable to confirm this. But Leatherwing is frequently observed flying around the southeastern skies of Mournveil, even going so far on a couple of occasions to have attacked the capital of Mournmount itself. These events are few and far between, but often enough to be of concern. Ayleen, what are you looking at next?
So was I the one with the vampire corpse, or was that Esther?
So that was Esther. I
Oh,
believe
okay.
you discovered
magic users
notes
then.
about magic users?
Yes.
Okay. So looking through, you find a number of names. Names that do not mean very much to you at all. They are simply a random collection. But as you are looking through, there is one that stands out to you. Hansel. And looking through, you see notes written by Magnus Fortuna, increasing reports of individuals appearing in Mournveil with magical abilities and no memories of their past. He believes that they are citizens of Mournveil, that have been stolen away only to later be discarded and thrown back into the world. Now, by who or for what reason, he does not know. But he believes that these magic users, whatever they're being used for, are the key to some greater design by some unseen force. But whatever the case, there are more and more of them popping up around Mournveil.
So
Now,
Hansel is there, but not Claire?
I would say, based on your earlier investigation roll,
Oh, God damn it.
Hansel is the only one that you can see at this stage.
Okay.
Now, at this point, Cider, I would say that the dust has probably cleared from your eyes. Is there anything that you're wanting to do as the others are reading and you just...
I mean, I guess Actually, do I hear anything?
Make a perception check for me.
No. 6.
I would say as you sit there and you realize that quite a bit of dust has also got in your ears as well, you just like start to pick at them a bit. And very, very briefly, you swear for a moment, you just hear a soft whispered, but
Sir?
that is all. You
What?
It is gone.
Huh. He's gonna just like look around. Just like, where'd that come from?
You see nothing except for your friends just sat and reading.
Did y'all hear that?
Hmm?
The whisper?
No? Is there a
Oh.
whisper?
Yeah. Or
I'm
maybe
like
it's the dust.
trying to hear now too.
Make a perception check for me.
18.
Hell yeah.
You hear another whisper. It is very, very soft, but it reverberates from the room of doors, the circular room of doors just beyond. It is very, very faint, but you can hear it.
We're not alone.
You hear it too?
There's people. There's people in that
Maybe
room.
it's... Oh. Maybe it's Hazel. And Meg.
No,
and
this
Farah.
is not Hazel. This. some sort of magical chanting or something. And I would hurry my way back, holding the book about the magic users. Would go back to the room where the sounds are coming from.
Cider's gonna be like right on her tail. He's like, magic, I got that.
So, as you keep a hold of the papers and move in, you find yourself stood in the center of the large circular room once more. And off to one side, you hear the whispers getting stronger. From one of the doors, dark room in which you see a green light emanating from within.
It's green.
Stay behind me. And I would walk towards the light.
Cider's like holding
The
on
green
to the back of your like robe.
And I would hold on to Hansel. Hansel's with me, guys. We're okay.
Jesus.
So, moving forward and stepping over the threshold of the door, as the whispers continue, you are met with quite a shallow, domed room with no windows or light fixtures. In fact, the room appears almost entirely empty, entirely black, save for a single object in its center. Stood atop a stone pedestal, resting upon a soft, velvet red cushion, there is a large glass orb that casts a strange green aura out into the rest of the room, shifting underneath the glass surface.
Can I see anything in the bowl?
Make a wisdom check for me.
Wisdom. Okay. 19.
She's smart. We like
19.
her.
So smart.
Moving forward and placing your hand upon it. Do you have anything on your mind at the moment?
Hansel?
Yeah.
As you step forward and place your hand upon the orb, you see green smoke moving within, until it slowly begins to solidify. Smoky round the edges, but you see moving through the woods a figure. Long hair tied back and beard hanging down around his face, and tattoos over his arms and over his bare chest, his leather coat just hanging down on either side as he just makes his way through the woods. And he appears to be cutting various roots and such, and every so often he just stops and looks before turning back to what he's doing, until eventually, filling his bag with everything he needs, he just ties it taut and, throwing it over his shoulder, makes his way back into the woods before the image slowly begins to just descend into smoke once more.
Cider wants to have been peeking and be like, is that your boyfriend?
Oh, it's Hansel. Damn.
Esther, where did you came from? Wait, can everyone see Hansel, or was it just me?
Everyone can see what you see currently.
Is that your boyfriend? He smiled.
Nah, he has a girlfriend.
What? No, he doesn't.
I think.
No, he doesn't.
Okay. Why did he
Cider's
stay
like putting his
behind?
hands up. I'm not here for this.
Why did he stand? Why did he stay back with Ophelia? Then?
He didn't.
I thought they were.
He didn't.
Oh,
stay
your
back.
friend. The
I
rich
thought he
one.
did.
No, he went out with his sister, or well, with his friend.
I thought he was gonna go back to Ophelia.
No, he didn't.
Oh, okay. I just thought so.
No, he didn't. He's single.
Oh, well, okay.
You should join us.
Yeah, we should go get him then. If he's single.
Did anyone recognize? Oh my God, that's so bad. Did anyone recognize the forest?
I can already tell you I didn't.
I will say anyone who wants to check,
Okay,
make
I'm gonna.
a nature check for me.
Oh, yeah. That's it.
Yeah, I've only seen water and an island.
Oh, nice.
Oh!
21.
Oh, love brings us together.
Sorry, everyone briefly became robots very quickly. Yeah, I'd say anyone who wants to check, make a nature check.
I rolled
for me.
a nat 20.
Oh. So I would say that you recognize the woods, Ayleen, as being the Briar Woods, the same ones in which you fought the witch hunters.
It's the Briarwoods.
Just north of Everspire.
Good.
It's in the Briar.
He's very close to Ophelia then. We could go steal it back if you want to.
Talking
point.
about Hansel. Look. And I would give the book to Esther with Hansel's, or the scroll to Esther with Hansel's name on it, and with.
Oh.
So apparently, Hansel's been around for quite some time. Because there's no way that the bodies in the top of the tower are not crazy long dead.
How old is he?
Don't know.
Can Esther look into the book and try to find something like about dates? or whatnot?
Yeah, make an investigation check for me.
Hansel was a human, right?
19. Let's go.
He
Nice.
is, yeah. So looking at the book, I would say that one of the things you notice about the names, they appear to be dated, and they are dated a very, very long time ago. But all of these dates are when these individuals disappeared. Mysterious vanishings across Mournveil of people simply going missing and being basically subsumed by the mist wall.
But
What?
it says here that this was a long time ago since they went missing, but Hansel is right here. We see him. We met him. But it says he went missing.
Is he a witch?
Wait, give that back.
Yeah, it says here these are people that disappeared.
Ayleen would try to take the scroll back and look at it again herself.
Yeah, she hopes
Mhm.
so.
How is that possible?
I don't know.
What are these whispers?
I was
Right.
getting used to him.
Where are they coming from? The ball?
I would say you would recognize that the closer you get to the crystal ball, the more intense they get. Yes.
Okay, I would try to focus on thinking about Hansel again.
Okay. So, moving forward, you look into the glass orb once more. And you see Hansel moving through the woods as the smoke once again parts. And you see that he is making his way towards a small hut that stands in the center of the woods. And sat outside with long hair, you see Amara, his friend, as he walks forward and got some more ingredients. I should do this for soup, but oh, good. Any sign of us being followed? No. Thankfully. We're alone. Come on, let's get in and get you fed. And with that, he just heads on into the hut, and the door closes behind the two of them.
I wonder if they're getting chased by red robe people.
Maybe. Wait, does this work? And then without finishing the sentence, I would focus on thinking about Ophelia and like stare into the bowl for
Okay.
testing, guys. Nothing
Spying.
else.
So I would say, as you press your hand against it and just focus in, a face begins to form. And you see white hair framing a pale face. But as it starts to form, there is just a shuddering. And then the smoke just reappears. And you try again, but no matter how hard you try, it is as though you cannot access Ophelia at all.
Should someone else try?
Yeah, go for it. I will step aside.
Cider, can you try?
Yeah. He's just gonna think of the red robe guys.
Okay. Anyone in particular? Just like
I don't know. They were all
I mean, they all look the same. But so just
that one.
Just one. One. Okay. So you place your hand against, and can you make a wisdom check for me, please?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, just a check, not a save, not a save, just a check.
Oh my god!
Oh, look.
Is it gonna go any better at this rate?
Come on, Cider!
What have been my rolls? Oh, wonderful. 6.
Let's go.
So you focus in and you place your hands on either side and just like focus as hard as you can. And you see the smoke just moving inside before it just spikes out a little bit. And it's almost as though you feel it in your mind, and you take 1 point of psychic damage as there is just and your hands just instinctively move off the glass as you just...
Oh.
Cider's gonna like sit down and just be like, I don't feel very good.
Oh, yeah.
Did that hurt?
Yeah, my head hurts.
I can't. Does it work with people you haven't met? Maybe, I don't know. Let me try. Maybe Esther puts her hand and she tries to think about Mac's friend Victor. Maybe this works. Victor.
Make a wisdom
Okay,
check for me, please.
let's go. Man! Oh my god, these rolls are awful, bro.
So you reach forward, and almost immediately you see
Wait,
the
that was
smoke
a save,
just
that was a
move
save.
towards the side.
Oh,
of
that
the
was a
glass.
save. I got a save.
Oh yes.
Another roll.
Go again.
Please work.
Go. Wait, where's wisdom? Come on. 16. Come on. Please.
Okay.
Please.
So I will say, as you place your hand against it and just move ever so slightly, you feel a strange sensation underneath your hand. As something half forms. You don't see a face. You see a body, however. The face itself, almost as though in a dream, is featureless before you. And any sound is muffled. But you see a figure that appears to be standing with their hands up, stretching above them. And at first it looks as though they are standing with their hands stretched upwards, but as you look, you see that their hands are clasped together, and their toes are dragging against the floor as they are suspended from a ceiling by iron manacles.
Oh my
You can
God.
make out very, very little else.
Well, at least he's alive.
Let's hope. I can see his face.
Where is this?
Maybe in Hartstead. I don't know.
So,
Somewhere. Yeah.
can I roll to see if I recognize anything?
Make a perception check for me, or investigation, whichever you would rather.
Perception.
Mm-hmm.
4.
That's a roll.
I
so-
have no clue.
You can make out nothing. However, Cider, as you are sat there, you suddenly feel a slight nudge against your arm. And looking back, you just see a small rat next to you as Jerry pokes his head out of the wall.
Jerry!
Jerry?
I'm gonna pick him up a little bit.
Oh, where's the others?
We're behind this wall, and you just see from the hole that Jerry has come quite an impatient looking foot just tapping on the floor behind. We've just been making our way through the infrastructure of this lovely tower, it appears.
Is Hazel okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Hey, that means this room is part of the tower. We're not anywhere else.
Wait, step back!
They do so, and you see their feet just disappear from the hole in the wall.
Okay, I would try to use all my strength with my stuff to break the wall.
Okay, make a strength roll for me, please.
Let's go!
18?
Yes!
Just bringing your quarterstaff down into the hole, you just... And you see bits of the rock just give way as it just crumbles to either side. It is an old tower as bits fall away, and you can see Mank's pale and quite surprised face behind as you don't think you could break that kind of strength out more often? That would be quite useful.
Ayleen turned into a tree.
We found an orb. You need to look into it and focus on your friend Victor. And see if you recognize something, because your friend is captured. We just saw it. Can you go through this hole?
All right. And as he sort of crawls out, you see Farah behind them as well. And she just doffs her hat to you all. And I found them. Don't worry. They're okay. And Hazel bounds past towards the ball and is just kind of looking at it with wide eyes, just sort of taking in the color as Mank walks over. And as Farah approaches, how long have you been around this?
Like a minute?
Yeah, just a short while.
Why?
They can be quite dangerous if they are not used properly.
I hurt my head.
You tried to use it?
Yeah.
We did use it.
We already used it.
It was fine.
Ayleen's really cool. She's able to use it a lot.
I have very strong magic.
This is a type of scrying stone. It can be used to observe anyone on the same plane of existence. It's very powerful.
Mm-hmm.
You are very lucky to only have hurt your head, little one.
It's pretty big and strong. I've hit it a lot.
And as you say this, you see Mank just move over towards the ball and just... So what am I doing? Am I just touching it? Or...
You just think about your friend Victor. Focus on the orb and touch it.
He's going to make a wisdom check. Okay. So as he places his hand upon the orb, you watch as the smoke just disappears and begins to form a shape in its center. You see a tall, elven man with short brown hair, his pale face bruised and cut. And he wears a tattered brown jerkin and hangs suspended from the stone ceiling with iron chains around his fists. And he looks at the floor, his eyes closed and his toes barely scraping the stone beneath him. And all around him, and all across his body, there is a strange reflection, almost of light, passing through water. And just out of your field of vision, an overwhelming sound, like that of a waterfall pouring down in front of him. But otherwise, the stone room is empty.
Do you know
There's
where
a
this is?
waterfall out there. Could it be
Some-
the same?
I think this
Somewhere
must
this-
definitely be around the Heartland Forest at least. Heartstead probably is.
Yeah, can Esther maybe somehow recognize a water source?
I would
Since it's a
say
forest?
with Cider having pointed out the waterfall through the other door, having clocked that as the Heartland Forest, you would be able to make that connection also.
Oh. Okay, so is Victor close to this water, you say?
I mean, it looks like it. There's definitely some water reflecting, and I think I hear a waterfall.
Okay.
Do you know where that is, Esther?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Dude, it's my forest.
That's great. Then you can guide us there, right?
I think so, right?
And we'll find Victor.
So are you planning on stepping through the door, or are we going the old-fashioned way?
I think the old-fashioned way, because I don't think the doors are real. I mean, I'm not sure, but I don't think it's like a door to somewhere. And plus, we're kind of close now anyway.
Farah just turns and, when I entered this tower, the way I lost myself was through stepping through one of these doors and ending up in some kind of wood. I can assure you that these doors are very real.
Oh, well,
Let's do it.
let's do it. Then.
Yeah, I guess we should, yeah.
As you stand there, you watch as Hazel just brings her hand up to the orb, and placing her hand upon its surface. Oh, I'm rolling really well today. As
That makes one of us.
she just places her hand against its surface, and you watch as in front of her eyes, the smoke slowly dissipates, and you see woods, undergrowth and trees whipping by as though you're running through the wilderness. And through it, you see two figures hooded and cloaked, running side by side and gasping for breath, hoods obscuring their features. And you see that one of them is missing their right hand. And slung over their shoulders are several bags and satchels, and they run and they run and they run through the forest. And you can see that Hazel looks confused as her hand is upon the orb. And you watch as the two figures running through the forest jump into what looks to be a cave as they press themselves up against its surface and just look to one side. And they hold their breath as past them figures, robed figures in red robes and dark metal featureless masks run by, running and running and running. And as they run past the cave, all goes silent.
Hazel, who's that?
And the two... Hazel just looks at the orb, and you can see tears in her eyes as the two figures just lean back against the cave wall, and they pull down their hoods. And you just hear two words from Hazel's mouth as she looks up. Mom? Dad? And that is where we're going to end this week's session.
Ooh, Gloske's gonna come back to something fun.
But she missed it!
I know.
I'm going to turn off the creepy whispers. There we go. Thank you.
What?
Thank you so much for joining us for another session. We are going to be back again next week, hopefully with Glosske, so she can join us for this latest revelation, and we will no doubt be stepping forth into the town of Heartstead. But before we go, does everyone want to sound off and plug whatever it is they're working on? Arianna, would you like to go first?
Yes, Arianna is coming back to Twitch. I will be streaming again this Sunday. Also, my stream anniversary is coming up. So that's the Monday. So we'll be celebrating that soon as well. And I'm super excited because I've been offline from my own stream for like 3 weeks, kind of 3.5, because I went to Norway for the last one, and I just want to go back. So I'm very excited, and I hope to see a lot of you on there on Sunday.
And Elina.
Yeah, and I'm still torturing myself with bad games. So, or good games. Some I've started a Dark Souls 2 playthrough. Woohoo! Tomorrow on my stream. If you want to see some torturing being done, I guess. That's probably.
Surgical imagery, right?
Yeah.
Real.
And Sam.
Oh, I'm Sam, and I stream Monday through Friday, so I'll be streaming later on. And I've been playing a lot of Diablo 2 because it's my favorite game of all time, and the remaster makes my heart really happy. So been doing that, and then on Saturday, I don't know what's gonna happen. Ed has like a one-shot thing planned for our usual tabletop because we're gonna miss somebody, so we'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can find me on all social medias at JustSeum, JUSTSEUM, or over here on Twitch at Seum. What about you, Ed?
What about me? I'm Ed. You can find me at Edward_Spence_. Obviously GMing for this every Thursday, but as Sam said, we're going to be doing a slightly different episode of the Fifth House on Saturday. It's very experimental on my end, and I don't know if it's going to work, but I'm very excited, and I have full faith in our cast, and I think it's going to be very fun. So do tune in for that. I think it's going to be utterly chaotic. And yeah, outside of that, I have an exciting announcement TTRPG wise coming up very soon, which I can't wait to share with everyone, and it's something I've been looking forward to for a very long time. And yeah, just follow me on the social medias for various acting-y things. I'm doing stuff at the moment, which is very, very nice, especially after the last year. But in the meantime, thank you all so much for joining in. Thank you for joining us in this latest chapter of our journey. We will be back again next week, same time, same channel, same day. But in the meantime,
Join our Discord.
Join our Discord.
Join the Discord. But yeah, join our Discord. We'll be on there. We're on there most of the time to talk about the episodes and the characters and the story and sharing memes most of the time. But in the meantime, wherever you are in the world, stay safe, stay well, and just remember we love you very, very much, and we will see you very, very soon. But we'll miss you. Bye-bye.